Good morning. This is Dr. Michael Datcher, and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early, here at 4:45 a.m. on Michael Datcher's YouTube channel, and goes into 5 a.m. and then at 4:45 p.m. On Facebook Live. Today we're talking about a really important topic: asking and receiving, and its connection to productivity. A really interesting, non-traditional topic today. If you are enjoying the show, please swipe left or right across your device, left or right across your device to invite people to join the conversation. Definitely become a subscriber by pushing the subscribe button here at YouTube's Michael Datcher channel. Definitely go to Productive Through Joy. See about us. We offer live one-on-one Productive Through Joy consulting. We also, of course, speak to groups, organizations, and schools about being productive through joy. Let's dive into the topic. Today, again, we're talking about a really important topic: asking and productivity. But let me say a few words first about myself for those who are new to the show. This is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. I am the author of the New York Times bestseller Raising Fences, which was a Today Show Book of the Month pick. That book's film rights were optioned by the actor Will Smith, whose people call my people. Will, it's Mike. And I eventually agreed to write the screenplay for that particular project. I am also the author of the acclaimed historical novel Americus, which is set 13 miles from Ferguson, where, of course, Michael Brown was murdered, and the conflagration that ensued initially there. That book is about the book is set again there, and it's a historical novel, and it's about identical twin sons, one of whom gets vitiligo, which you may have known in in the modern times known as the Michael Jackson disease. It makes black and brown people lose their melanin in spots and splotches. And that book is a really interesting take on race and violence in America, which is something that's apropos for today's society, certainly. And that book will be out in May. Wow. In May 2018, just a couple months. Look for that in bookstores everywhere. Published by iconic Third World Press. Here, we're very excited to be on Third World Press for this really important book. So look for that. Look for me coming to a town near you on the book tour as well. So I'm also the former executive director of the World Stage, literary and jazz venue here in California. My educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergraduate. My master's is from UCLA, and my PhD in English literature is from the University of California at Riverside. I'm currently a professor of English literature at Loyola Marymount University here in Los Angeles. I'm an expert at being productive, all right? I don't say that to brag or boast, but I like hot butter on my breakfast toast. That was a song back in the day. That was off the top quoting Sugar Hill Gang. I don't mean to brag or boast, but those are the facts. And people are oftentimes surprised at my level of productivity, given how crazy my own personal story is. I am the product of a young girl who was raped at 16, gave birth to me at 17, and subsequently gave me up for adoption to a wonderful single divorcee who was great and loved me and still loves me. Yet at the time, no biological father, no adopted father. Listen, difficult times for the young MD. And when that's your story, people from those types of backgrounds typically don't do too well. That's just the facts, right? Yet, as Cool Moldy famously said, how you like me now, right? And if I can be this productive given that crazy story, many of us watching the show can be productive as well, abundant as well, hyper successful as well. In fact, when people like us can make it, it really inspires other folks, because when we see someone who is like us overcome odds, it gives us the belief that we can do it too, and we can never underestimate the power of inspiration. I need it all the time in my life to really be my highest self. I need to be inspired, and I look for that and seek that all the time. And in fact, this business, our business, and also this show, is really motivated. It originated through this idea of let's help people help themselves by offering an inspirational story that is real. And so we like to especially work with folks who are who've come from difficulty because they understand and we understand the same thing. It's complicated, like a Facebook status, right? So, but I digress. Today again, we're talking about asking, which we'll explain in a second. Asking the spirit, asking advice, asking experts in productivity, and what that relationship is all about. So let's dive in. Now, on the morning show, we like to also touch on the idea of framing your day. Well, I'm shaking my head. Framing your day before your day has a chance to frame you. At times, we will wake up on the proverbial wrong side of the bed with trouble on our mind, thinking about difficulties, thinking about what is happening in some aspect of our life, and that particular thought at times is tied to stress. When you are troubled, your body has a physical response. It gets stressed, and under stress, your body releases chemicals that are unhealthy into your bloodstream, which is why I'm sure you've heard through media reports or through your family that stress is a killer. That stressing yourself leads to hypertension, heart attack. I mean, all times physical malady above and beyond. It ages you. I mean, I can go on. You do not want stress to dominate your life. I've had moments, sometimes eras, epochs in my life where stress has done that to me. I used to wake up when I was in my 20s because I was freelancing full time and always on as a writer, always on deadline. I used to wake up with my fist balled, just like because I would sleep with my fist just balled, just stressed. Some people grind their teeth, other people do other things. But those who are listening, who know that experience, know that is not a good way to live, A. And B, it's just not sustainable because you'll either medicate or just die early. In fact, the scientists report that black men die, the CDC, the CDC had a study come out just about a couple years ago now. I think it was could be 3 years ago now, which stated that that a part of why African American men die a decade earlier than white males in America is through the stress tied to racism. Think about that. How racism, walking through the planet in black skin, can literally make you sick and can kill you. It's crazy. And we're not saying that, of course, all white people are racist or everyone experiences racism in a way that can contribute to your health. Our show is for everyone, obviously. But I'm just saying, if you are black and you are an entrepreneur and you're walking through the planet, you're like, yep, I get that. Because racism is real. Stress tethered to racism is real. I mean, it's a thing. So we like to also, of course, work with black folks, people of color, because we know folks with those particular subject positions face a unique challenge when becoming entrepreneurs and when looking to live outside the box. We know, so we like to especially work with folks like that. So we're just talking today. Let's dive into the topic. So as a part of this ideal of moving through our day, of not being framed by, of framing our day before our day has a chance to frame us, we talk about it. We talk about it in the context of ritual. Ritual can be defined as essentially doing the same thing at around the same time. And so, let me say that we do it. We engage in this conversation by helping people create a morning ritual. Let me just give you mine as a brief exemplar. So in the mornings, I'll wake up at 3:30 a.m., including this morning, hella early AF. I read a couple spiritual business books. I do our show right now at 4:45 until 5. At 5, I'll work on my current book until sunrise, which is around 6:15 or so here in Los Angeles. At sunrise, I walk out to the beach. I live here along the beach in Venice Beach, California. I bring my drum, I meditate, I pray, I do yoga. I come back, I work on my book for a while longer, then I go back to the beach to run up the coast all the way past Santa Monica's Pier, all the way back here to Venice Beach to go to my Gold's Gym. So, guys, by 9:30, after that busy morning, I am rolling, feeling good, feeling powerful, and feeling amazing. And my body is being flooded with endorphins, and that endorphin release gives me a sense of euphoria, which I can then use to leverage to move myself towards my goals and objectives. Now, we're not saying do what I do. We're saying do what you do, and we help people do what they do. So today's morning chant, I'm reading these three books. Cash in the Flash, which is a book about spirituality and entrepreneurialism. Uh, the Nag Hammadi Reader, which is a book about these ancient spiritual scriptures, really powerful. And I'm reading a book called Owning the Moment, which is a book about just that, owning the moment at the crossroads. Right. So from those three books that I'm reading now, which I rotate out as I finish a book, I bring in a new book. I'm reading. I'll extract some wisdom called the morning chant. And today's morning chant is, as a meditating natural mystic, I ask Spirit for guidance to manifest abundance, then courageously follow Spirit's abundance advice and watch my dreams manifest. That's a good one. So I think about that throughout my day. I also create the morning show, an afternoon show based upon that reading. So today we're talking about asking. All right. So again, if you're enjoying the show, please swipe left or right across your device. Please share this on your social media platforms. Thanks for being here. And go to productivethroughjoy.com. Let's start. Point one is that you want to be able to be humble enough to ask. All right. I find that men have an issue with asking for help, for advice, including myself. But point one is you want to be humble enough to ask. Point two is that don't wait until you get broke down to ask. A lot of times we have to be on the doorstep of just trauma, poverty, major catastrophe to finally get some help, or even driving our ride lost in clan country to ask advice. It's so bad, right? Listen, don't wait. You want to ask not at the last second. What you want to do then is make asking for the advice, asking for guidance from Spirit, from experts, from people who you respect, who you know and love, every day as a part of your practice. You want to make asking for guidance a lifestyle, not just when you have nowhere else to turn. You're up in clan country and you hear the shouts of the would-be clansmen, right? You don't want to wait until you get to that point, right? You want to do it every day, which goes into point three. As you begin to have asking Spirit, tapping into the Spirit, knowing yourself and going inside, for example, as a meditating person, which is one of the things that we help people think through. Once you begin to access experts like myself and other people, I go to experts all the time. I go to conferences and workshops. I read books. I am always seeking guidance and expertise because knowledge is power in this business. So once you begin to make that a lifestyle, wow, you're going to see an absolute uptick in your productivity. There it is. Boom, goes the dynamite. Boom, 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 boom. This show airs each weekday morning, hella early at 4:45 a.m. Here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel at 4:45 p.m. or Facebook Live at 4:45 p.m. You can please go to productivethroughjoy.com. We speak to groups, organizations, and schools about being productive through joy. We also, of course, offer live one-on-one productive through joy consulting. Definitely go to that subscribe button right now. Push it and get all these videos for free. I did say free. 1, 2, 3, 4, free. Thanks for being here. We'll see you this afternoon at 4:45 p.m. Look for me again coming to your city when Americas comes out in May. Until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces.